I was in Philadelphia today for a lot longer than I thought I would be there. I happen to have been able to acquire a press pass for early access to RFK's.
We should do that from now on, by the way.
Sure. Yeah, for any of these events. But
yes.
I was able to get a press pass to RFK's event. And if I get some time, I am going to, I wrote down some notes and I texted it to Jen, but, kind of like an overall synopsis of what the experience is like. What I can tell you about the crowd that showed up in Philadelphia today, and we're going to play a clip in just a minute. It was a very eclectic crowd. It was a mix of a lot of different people, predominantly white, to be fair. But
how did it compare to a typical Trump crowd?
Well, here's what I would say. All corners of the political spectrum were there. You had left hippie types all the way to conservative business types and everything in between. You had people of great affluence. You had people that were successful in business. You had working class, or even, just outright kind of nomadic.
Was there any racial spectrum whatsoever? Or
there
was
was
it pretty
one
white?
person. There was one person in the crowd who was, chanting "Free Palestine" and really gave it to Rabbi Shmuley when he spoke.
Oh,
but other than that,
people, do not you don't even say it. Don't say his name. I hate that man. I really
sorry.
do.
It's a trigger
I don't
word.
hate him as a person. Whatever. I don't want. It's not the best image. It's not. Yeah, he wrongs me as a Jew.
I am going to allow you guys to, and credit to Colin. Various clips were put together today. Exceptional pro shots were done. Overall, I think it was pretty strong, and I think the message is going to resonate. But buckle up for a few minutes, guys. RFK is officially a candidate for president of the United States, running as.
I hope you clip this down so it's not like too long, right?
Sit back and enjoy, young lady.
We do face an entrenched political corruption and an inequality of wealth not seen in a century. But the good news is that people like yourselves are finally fed up. Something is stirring in us that says it doesn't have to be this way. People stop me everywhere at airports, at hotels and malls, on the street, and they remind me that this country is ready for a history-making change. They are ready to reclaim their freedom, their independence. And that's why I'm here today. I'm here to declare myself an independent candidate. That's not all. I'm here to join you in making a new Declaration of Independence for our entire nation. We declare independence from the corporations that have hijacked our government. And we declare independence from Wall Street, from big tech, from big pharma, from big ag, from the military contractors and their lobbyists. And we declare independence from the mercenary media that is here to fortify all of the corporate orthodoxies from their advertisers and to urge us to hate our neighbors and to fear our friends. Today, as the corrupt powers have overtaken our government, the ranks of the dispossessed have swelled so that they not only include indigenous Americans and Black Americans and Hispanic Americans, they include tens of millions of people who live paycheck to paycheck in financial desperation. The dispossessed also include the legions of the chronically ill, of the addicted, the depressed, the 80% of our country that cannot afford a middle-class lifestyle. A rising tide of discontent is now swamping our country. People ask me, can you win? And I want to turn that question back on you. Will our movement win? Democracy doesn't come about as a gift from oppressive elites and authorities when they finally relent. Democracy comes when people choose to exercise their power. And so I'm asking you today to join me in exercising the sovereign choice of a democratic people. Are we ready to win?
Yeah, no, I appreciate what he's doing. Look, to me, if the Democrats would have had a primary, this wouldn't have been the case, but no, and they wouldn't have a primary. And so I appreciate the democracy of it. I don't necessarily, he's not my candidate, but I appreciate him.
What I said, and you don't like my music, brings up a good point, and this is what I would say to anybody. His speech actually wasn't good. It was borderline great. He obviously still has an issue with his speaking, but it is drastically improved.
It bothers me a lot less than it used to.
Well, he's improved it. There's no question that he has.
He's probably working with
He had vocal coach. He has to. He doesn't have a choice. Yeah. And that's Cheryl probably in his ear that you need to do that.
Yeah.
He is if you put him up against Trump and Biden, he is going to look very appealing to a lot of people. And that is something you have to understand. This is
that three-way race. Yeah. I'm RFK. There's no way. I don't see any other. If that were the three-way race, but you know where I am.
I'm not. Yeah. I mean, listen, this is not to take anything away from Dr. Cornel West. And
that's Dr. Cornel West is my guy.
Yeah, so we certainly hope that his independent run is also strong. But the reality is that Bobby Kennedy is a very charismatic, very empathetic, a very knowledgeable, and a very likable individual. And I was there for somewhere between 6 and 8 hours today. And I rubbed elbows with a lot of different people of considerable affluence in many cases, including one such individual who I will not name, who I will tell you freely admitted that he was an anti-vaxxer and that his kids are not vaccinated. There was not a lot of that in the room, thankfully, but there are people who are in that movement. And a lot of those people in that movement have a lot of money and have a lot of influence. And there was a lot of people that were there today who have millions upon millions of dollars to give, and they're going to give it to him. There's a lot of people who believe that this country is at a breaking point and that he is the right candidate at the right time. Could it be because he's a Kennedy? Could it be because he has name ID? Could it be because that he is very knowledgeable about a myriad of issues that a lot of people agree, even disagree on? I think at the end of the day, if he's on the ballot, he is definitely banking on this idea that even if you dislike me or disagree with me on a number of things, if you line me up against Biden and against Trump, or quite frankly, whoever else it might be, it could be in one case DeSantis and Newsom. And if you put RFK up as the candidate in that instance, he is going to do a lot better than I think people think. And that, to me, is what it comes down to. For Dr. West, the biggest issue, without question, the biggest issue for Dr. West is that he has had a lot of missteps from the very beginning. And some of it is, self-inflicted. In other instances, just having bad people around him. Dr. West
that's not his only problem.
Dr. West is not going to be able to raise a tenth of the money that Bobby's going to be able to raise. And so
he'll have more people power if it's done properly.
If it is done properly. But I think that there is something to be said for if again, Bobby has a number of issues that he's going to have to address. The two most noteworthy are Israel and healthcare. Those are the two big ones. I think he would be a lot easier to get on healthcare if for no other reason, because he is very much taking it directly to Big Pharma, which lends to this idea of you have to, if you want to get progressive fervor backing you up, you must support a single payer universal healthcare system. That is the only answer at this point.
Thanks for watching. If you want to support our mission to transform politics into service, please like this video, subscribe, follow us on social media, and consider joining our Patreon, where you'll get early access to our interviews as well as other exclusive content. Links are in the description. Peace out.